Welcome back, boys and girls. As always, I'm Hunter.
And I'm Hunter.
And this is the H&H Awakening podcast, the number one podcast for all things outdoors, whether it's hunting, hiking, shooting, fishing, whatever you decide to do outdoors, we're here to talk about it. As always, we're coming up with a new topic every week, keeping it special and spicy. Well, that's what I call it. Hunter just calls it coming up with nonsense, I guess. But before we get started,
don't be lying.
Before I get started, I know we've said it before. I don't want to be one of those podcasts or one of those, whatever you want to call it in general, who sit here and beg for views, beg for likes, all that. That's why I don't say it as much. But if you are listening and you've been listening or you're a new listener and you want to support someone or you just like what you're listening to or you're entertained or you even have something to help us better ourselves, give us a like, follow, comment, whatever down below, and truly appreciate it. If you're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, downloading the episode really helps, as well as leaving a review. But yeah, anyways, getting on to the biz. This week we are talking about indoor versus outdoor gun ranges. And by the way, apologies for those of you listening if I sound nasally. Been a little bit under the weather the last few days, so I just kind of sound cruddy. But anyways, continuing on. Yeah, you may hear me sniffling a lot too. I'll try to deafen that out as much as I can. Anyways, kind of getting into indoor and outdoor gun ranges. Me and Hunter are going to discuss with you what we like about both, what interests both of us about each of the different type of ranges, and really what the best applications, mainly for us, because everything that we talk about on this podcast is our opinion of and what has worked best for us. And if you want to try it out and see if it works best for you, by all means try it out. But we are not laying down the law and saying this is it, this is the way. We're not Mandalorians. We're here to let everybody make their own decisions. We just want to give you some advice of what we've done and what worked for us. But anyways, if my quiet co-host would like to start us off on what he prefers, indoor or outdoor.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Well, yeah, you just had a long... Wow, it's all quiet now on your side.
I didn't hear a word you said. My freaking headset unplugged because I'm like wiping my nose.
I was like, I was just saying that I didn't want to interrupt your monologue that you were going. You just kept going, and I was like, I'm not gonna interrupt you. So.
Well, yeah, I was trying to throw. I figured you would have jumped in when I made the Mandalorian joke.
Because I was going to, but I'm like, I don't have good internet, so I'm kind of delayed. So I was like, I don't want to have to say the joke way after you say it by accident,
Heck yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, I know we both have discussed off the podcast our feelings of indoor gun ranges. What? How do you feel personally about them?
I hate them. No, it's not that I hate them. It's I feel like you don't have as much. Freedom. I don't want to say freedom, but every time I've gone to an indoor gun range, I always feel like the range officers, obviously they're there for your safety, right? But I kind of feel like they breathe down your neck a little bit too much.
Yeah.
If you're, it's kind of my only thing against it. You can't shoot cheap ammo like steel case stuff, which I don't really care. I don't shoot a whole lot of steel case ammo, to be honest with you. But
yeah, the only time I've shot steel case is if it was given to me and I used it for a mag dump. That was about it.
Yeah. Let's see, another thing I'm not a huge fan of most gun ranges, indoor gun ranges are limited to 25, 30 yards maybe 50 on the high end in some places,
Yeah.
and then there's a couple that have 100 yards, but very very limited, and most of the time you have to pay extra to go to those or
Yeah, and
something like that.
then you're limited on how long you can be in there because they have VIP members that come in and kick you out. Not gonna
Yep.
name
Yeah, exactly.
not gonna name gun ranges, but I mean the gun range we're talking about. It's a nice gun range, and I've enjoyed my time there. It's just when it comes to the 100-yard range, which me and Hunter both enjoy. There's only 4 lanes, and if a VIP member comes in, you have to leave. Which I get, they're paying more,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like, mm,
See, like they're really not paying more though. They just pay usually for like a membership or something like that.
yeah.
If
Well,
anything,
yeah,
you're actually paying more. But um,
they're a more consistent
kind of going
income.
off on a tangent. Yeah, and also some indoor ranges do like an hourly rate. So if it's like a pretty popular gun range, they'll charge you per hour instead of just like per range session.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know some gun store or gun ranges don't, but it kind of just depends which one you go to. So that let's see, another thing that I don't like about indoor is how it's gonna sound like kind of weird coming from like a gun guy, but I hate how loud it gets.
No,
If that makes
I
sense.
definitely get you.
Like it's not the loud, it's the concussion. It's like if somebody's running like a muzzle brake like 4 lanes down from you, if it the gun's sticking past the wall or whatever, well that concussion it can hit you wherever. So and it gives me headaches. So
I'm not gonna lie. There's a few times I'll be at the gun range, and the concussion or the like noise of the gun, it'll make me jump just because like if I'm outside it wouldn't affect me, but since I'm inside it just like I don't know how to explain it, but just the concussion, the vibration, the loudness, like you're not expecting it because it's quieter atmosphere than being outside, and it'll like make me jump, but then you get used to it.
yeah.
It's like someone running up and buzzing an air horn in your ear.
Oh my god, that was so corny.
It was, but I just
Uh,
wanted to try it out. So,
but with I think one good positive thing about gun ranges though,
yeah.
or sorry, indoor gun ranges, most of the time the range fee will includes the target. Um, some outdoor ranges don't include that, so
It
that's kind of
usually
nice.
includes the first target.
Yeah, in the first target, but um, it it's a hit and miss with new shooters. Because like if the indoor range is very very empty, I think it's a lot easier to teach somebody at an indoor range than it is a outdoor range.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if it's kind of loud, it can also be like a daunting thing to like new shooters and stuff as well, because it's like it's so much louder out there or in indoors than it is outdoors, obviously.
It's definitely
Um,
not the way I would put it is, if I was honestly wanting to teach a new shooter how to shoot, I
I'll
don't.
go outside.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd
I'm
advise
good.
taking him indoors, unless you can have the range to yourself. It's really hard to instruct or make them feel comfortable when they're inside and everything's intensified, the sound, the concussion, all that, and you're trying to talk to them at the same time, and it's just ba
Yeah,
ba 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 ba. If you got a
yeah,
private range indoors, then by all means do that if it's a controlled environment. But if you're trying to teach someone at a public gun range, I feel like that's definitely
yeah. But also, like a lot of people like don't have the resources or access to go into an outdoor range.
yeah.
So, like whether it's private or public. Um, so, but another thing too. So I did give a little bit of crap like to the range officers um, that are at these indoor ranges, but they are usually a lot safer than outdoor range officers
Oh
from
yeah,
from
for
what
sure.
from what I've seen.
Well,
Um, especially like at like a public place, because like I see a lot more shitty shooters at indoor ranges than I do outdoor ranges.
Yeah.
Like, like they don't care about the group; they're just trying to show off to their friends or whatever. But
Yeah.
that's kind of what I've seen.
Most of
So
the outdoor ranges. Well, I've only been to one outdoor range actually, because usually I just shoot at my grandpa's. We got plenty of land, all that,
yeah,
But the one outdoor range I went to, I did notice that everybody there knew what they were doing, what they were handling. They knew their safety. It was clear that they were all experienced versus indoor range. I've been to a few of them. You can definitely tell there's some people in there that either just bought a gun, which that's fine, they're learning. And then there's other people in there that may have just bought a gun or they may own a couple, but they don't really care about getting better or safety as much. They're just trying to, like you said, show off for friends. And like that group of kids we saw
yeah,
last
yeah,
time we went, they were just there to just, mag dump and, show off what they could do.
And then they're shooting. I mean, not even. I might even get into that story. We can talk about that later in this episode. But
well, quick thing about it to justify us. Well, it makes it sound cocky, but what was funny about it, I just want to get this off my chest. But what was funny about it is they were sitting there, mag dumping, whatever, or shooting at higher speeds. And
rates of fire,
yeah, and they were just freaking all over the paper. And then me, you, and who was it? Cole that was with us.
Cole was with us.
We went up there and were shooting at the same rate of fire, if not faster. And our groups were like within I'd say softball, basketball, somewhere.
I would probably go like a basketball.
Yeah.
Well, what's bigger than a little bit bigger than a basketball? I don't really know.
Maybe a kickball. I don't know. I would say basketball. Probably. I wouldn't say it was much bigger than a basketball.
No, I was kind of give like a range.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
But we were only shooting at 10 yards, so like it wasn't anything. To me, it wasn't impressive. No, the rate that we were shooting, it was damn near impressive. But we also, you didn't have it. Because I think you're using your new AR, weren't you? Or your newer AR, right? The one you just built.
Yeah, and then I was also using. I mean, I tried out the one I was having issues with that's fixed now, and then also my pistol, like my CZ.
That's right. Yeah. But I think indoor ranges. I'd rather shoot indoor with pistols, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like if I'm not on like a private range, like a private outdoor range, I don't know whether it's like granddad's land or just like friend's land or middle of nowhere or whatever your state laws or whatever connections you have to shooting outdoors. I think I'd rather shoot pistols indoors.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Personally. I just feel a little bit more consistent, and then indoor ranges, a lot of them are starting to come with like those automatic
sliding
like
targets.
So the automatic sliding targets, so you can like set it's like run at you and stuff, and you can shoot it. But
I mean, you can do the same outdoors.
Oh, you can.
You just have Billy Bob on the 3-wheeler with the target hanging off the side, drive at you. Just joking, by the way, guys. We're not.
Yeah.
Highly unsafe.
But they do have like robots, like little like RC cars that have target stands on them now. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
But I wonder how many.
Keep talking. I'll try and find it and I'll shoot it to you in Discord.
I wonder how many bullets, or how much impact though that those RC cars can take before they get destroyed.
It's just paper targets, and they stand above it, and they literally just drive around the paper targets.
Yeah, on top of them, right? But that's what I'm saying, though, is like, you there's going to be a time where you're going to at least hit it once. Either pull a shot or...
Oh, yeah.
Because that's going to suck. You buy this, at least probably $100 RC car, and then that thing gets shot one time, and it's donezo.
Here's an example of one. I'm trying to see if it's a. So it says it's an airsoft target, but I know they make targets like this. So it's just the first thing that popped up.
Dude, honestly, you know what's becoming my kind of off topic real quick. You know what's becoming my like fidget toy?
What?
That Sig P365 collector's coin that came with my Sig 365.
Yeah.
It's like a bronze coin. I don't know why, but like
Yeah.
I found it in I took it out of the gun case because I left it in the gun case when I bought the pistol. But I took it out the other day and just set it on my desk because I was just looking at it. And now every time I sit at my desk or if I'm at home, I've got this thing in my hand and I'm just like twirling it around in my hand or like spinning it on the table.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might
Dude,
become one of those
I don't have
guys.
very good internet. I hear it.
I might become one of those guys that you see just, you know, twirling a coin in his hand mysteriously with a cigarette or a cigar.
God.
Did you send me that link?
Oh, and I'm trying to find like an actual. Yeah, like I'll send this to you.
Oh, you're connecting to the dial-up out there?
It's basically what it is, dude. I'm surprised I even have service right now.
Moto shot?
I'm trying to find like the because like they have. Oh yeah, I found it. It's like the movie. It's like the 925.
Oh.
I think that's what it is.
Well, you didn't tell me that it had a freaking, you know, like
I didn't know that it
casing
had
around
like a case around it. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Should I watch the video on it?
Want to?
I already am.
You're gonna share your screen?
Oh, yeah. While sharing it with the podcast, I forgot to share it with you.
Ooh.
Where'd it go?
I don't even think it's showing, dog.
Yeah, it's showing on OBS. I don't have any sound though.
No, I can't.
Can you see it in Discord?
No,
Hold on.
it's all good. It's not important enough.
It says I'm sharing my screen with you. Yeah, it says I'm sharing it with you. In Discord. Do you not see it in Discord?
No.
What the heck? Share your screen. What about now?
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can just watch it.
Okay. Well, I'll watch a little bit of it and just talk to you about it. Okay. The part I'm watching right now is they're driving it around, demonstrating how it works, basically. So, yeah, it's got some armor plating on it. Oh, I mean, the tires are exposed, which I imagine they're fairly expensive to replace. But, I mean, if you're shooting that low, you probably shouldn't invest.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is something you would probably invest in if you've gotten pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? Hunter, help me out here. You've gotten pretty.
I don't know.
Well versed in
Consistent.
shooting. Yeah, you've gotten pretty good with your gun
okay.
that you know you can put the bullet where it needs to go, or at least within the vicinity. You know, you're not going to buy this if you're a new shooter. Obviously, I mean, if you do, more power to you. But I mean, this would be something I wouldn't invest money into unless I was, you know, practicing every day. And I mean, I trust myself now that I would be able to hit it consistently. But basically, what I'm saying is, if you're a new shooter, I wouldn't recommend buying something like this.
It's a very specific person to buy that.
Yeah.
So, again, it's another niche market that I talked about.
But it's really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to share the screen one more time. Let's look at one more thing they got. Because they got two different models. They got the AR, and then they got the... So they got the Elite Standard and then the Elite AR, which is armored moving. What's the Standard? Is that not armored? Oh, you can
Probably not.
Oh, okay, hold on. So here's the difference. Elite Armored is rifle rated and constructed from AR 500 NIJ 3 plus armor plate. Elite Standard is pistol rated. Oh, okay. So basically, it's just the metal in the bottom of it. One's rifle, which I feel like if you're going to invest some money in this, you might as well get the AR 500 rated one.
Yeah.
I mean,
no matter how much more it is, I don't even know the price of those.
yeah, because it would suck to invest money in the pistol one, and then you're like, man, I really want to shoot at my rifle, and then you take the chance, and then you have a broken unit. But you can,
Yeah.
if you look on their website, Hunter, it shows like you can get like a dummy, put a dummy on it instead of a target,
Oh, that's cool.
like a from the knee up. Like it's like an average
Yeah.
sized person or whatever.
That's pretty. That's pretty cool. I didn't see. There's so much. There's so many different things that we can talk about shooting ranges,
But no, that'd be something really cool, especially if you're wanting to, say you're doing your own drills at home, your own range or outdoor range or whatever that they allow this, and you want to run drills, like simulate real life or close to real life scenarios such as an active shooter and you're a concealed carry person, licensed carried person, and you're wanting to practice a drill of an active shooter coming at you or just home defense, whatever. This would be a really good thing to have. I mean, yeah, it's really expensive, but if you're that invested, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool to see things like that are designed and made out here for that.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to teach you something new.
Yeah, you did. I knew there was moving targets out there, but I didn't know there was this.
Yeah, and then but what's cool about those though is that you can, and obviously you can move it whichever way you want because it's like an RC car, so it's like even like more like realistic and stuff than like just a target moving straight at you.
Yeah, and they have other targets too. Like they have stationary ones where they'll like flip up or come off to the side or whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
judging by their website, they mainly carry. They it looks like they mainly cater to like law enforcement and military. I mean, that's
yeah,
what they mainly show demonstrating the equipment.
yeah.
But maybe we'll get to the point someday where we'll have one and we'll give him a nickname and he'll be the range dude or whatever. We'll be like
Man,
Demolition Ranch.
that'd be awesome if we ever get to that point. Sorry, not if. When we get to that
When
point.
we get to that point. Yeah, no. I mean, like you said, I like indoor ranges for what they're worth. I prefer outdoor range or just my grandpa's range.
Yeah.
I just don't
So,
like the breathing down the neck thing at indoors. Which, I mean, I get they're being safe and everything. But it feels like, which we're experienced. I wouldn't say we're like elite shooters or anything. I'm not saying we're like badass shooters. But we're experienced enough that we know, safety, and we understand safety at the range and everything enough to where, like the outdoor range we went to, the guy saw that we demonstrated safe tactics and everything, and he wasn't breathing down our neck, and we enjoyed it and everything, and it was fun.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that like, indoor ranges are like don't go to them. It's not what I'm trying to say, but like, if you can't get to an outdoor range because you have like an hour worth of time to like stop in somewhere for a little bit, go to an indoor range and just, shoot a box of ammo or two.
Now,
But with
real quick, the one thing that I will say that some people are probably thinking, listening right now, my number one thing that makes an indoor range better than outside, and it's only because I've used it in this situation a few times, is bad weather. There's been times where it was pouring down rain outside, and there was no way I was going to an outdoor range because, even if the outdoor range has got an awning, it's just still a miserable, muddy time, and I just wanted to go shoot. The indoor range did come in clutch that time, and they both have their uses, but yeah. What were you saying, though?
Oh, I was listening. Oh, so also too, I know it's like a pick and choose the kind of thing, but like the couple gun ranges that like the indoor gun ranges that I've been to, I've also figured out that you can shoot a little bit faster, like mag dumping stuff at indoor ranges. As long as you're showing, proper stance and recoil control, most of the range officers won't have an issue with you
Yeah,
doing that kind of
usually
stuff.
the indoor ranges I've been to, I'll usually ask first. I'll be like, hey, do you mind if I mag dump or whatever?
Yeah.
And one of them, the one that's close to our parents' house, they were fine with it. And then the other one I went to, the thing I didn't like about theirs, which I get, it's for insurance and whatever, it's their range. But the first one I went to, that's not the reason I don't go back there. There's other reasons, but they wouldn't let me mag dump until I came on a separate day and took their 2-hour course and got certified by 2 different range officers before I could do it.
That sounds pretty stupid.
Yeah. Because I asked him, like, I'd been shooting there for like a couple hours, and then I was like, hey, you mind if I mag dump? And then that was when he explained the whole thing, and I was like, oh, okay, it's fine, or whatever. And
Yeah. So I know a couple outdoor ranges that are farther shooting than like 200 yards. The one that we go to in Central Texas, the guy's just like, you guys should know how your guns work. Just shoot. So he's like, just don't shoot the cows if they run out of the pasture. That was like his one rule.
yeah,
Right? And then don't shoot the hunting blind that's like right across the property line, which is understandable. I'd hate if fucking somebody shot my shit up over the summer, come back during fall winter time and it's just shot up with holes in it.
yeah,
That would suck. But I know some gun ranges, if they have like a longer shooting port, like a longer range, they have some rules, which I think is kind of silly, but then it kind of makes sense too. Um, so I know the gun range I used to go to in West Texas, they have 100, 200, and it goes out to 6, but then they have steel targets, like 320 something, and it just goes all the way out to 600. Well, you have to qualify at 200 in order to shoot at 600. So you have to, I think it was like you have to hit like a 5-inch plate at 200 5 times in a row
yeah,
with one of the range officers watching you, and then you can go over and shoot, which I understand.
yeah. Because they want to make
So,
sure that you can hit, the closer ones before you. Because there's some people out there that'll just never shot at 100 or 200 yards, and they immediately want to jump to,
well, yeah, or you get those guys that have like, no offense to Smith and Wesson, but they're brand new to the AR-15 world. They see that 5.56 is good out to like 600 yards, whatever, and they'll try and shoot 600. Well, so they also have berms, obviously for like backstops.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 600-yard berm is probably, I don't know, 15, 20 foot tall, and if you don't know where your gun's hitting at 200, you're gonna shoot over the berm.
Yeah.
Is basically what they were saying. Was like, we've seen it many times where they're aimed like 10 feet over the berm and they don't see where they hit, and they're like, I don't know where I hit. And it's like, you shot over the berm. So,
which I mean, one, I think it, as a shooter, whether you're new or experienced, if you haven't shot past 200 yards or 400 yards, whatever, whenever you do go to a gun range, before you try to stretch out, sit there and take a few shots and learn where you're hitting at 100 and then 150, 200, whatever. Just take your time, because it's better to, start at 100 and realize, okay, I'm pulling my shots or whatever, and then slowly work your way out and learn how your grouping opens up, because you freaking decide, whatever, I've been shooting at 100, 200 yards all my life, doing good, and then you jump out to 600 and you pull a shot, miss a target, and it hits something that it's not supposed to, you can't take that bullet back. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Which it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's a big fucking issue. Because you kill somebody's calf, right, or bull or something, right, and then all of a sudden that bull is 10-time county champion and it's worth $600,000, and you owe that ranch are $600,000.
Yeah, you go from just using you go from just spending $1 on that round to 6, 7, 8, however many grand, thousands worth of dollars now because you know you made a mistake, whether it was accident or not. You know
Yeah,
that $1 bullet's not worth a $6,000 cattle, or even worse. Say you pull a shot and you hit Granny Linda down the road. You know, which hope that never happens to anyone. But you know, then that turns into an even bigger lawsuit, manslaughter, going to jail, whatever. You know,
yeah,
it's just things to think about. Like at the time, yeah, it just seems like you're just shooting another round down range. But if you don't prepare properly and do the safety required, it can turn really bad really quick.
yeah, and yeah, and there's so many different trajectory calculators out there nowadays. Like there's free ones on the internet. There's apps on your phone, both smartphone, Android or iPhone and Android. Um, I actually use one for long range shooting, but I don't use it to like actually get the precise drop.
Yeah.
I do it because you can't trust the science because like there's so many different variables that go into shooting like long
Mm-hmm.
range that isn't just okay. I'm getting this muzzle velocity and this ballistic coefficient. Well, there's also you have all the different kind of weather events that happen: pressure, temperature, humidity, all sorts of other stuff that you have to think about. But if you get one of these apps or use these websites, you can get like a rough estimation of where you're gonna hit. But don't follow it 100%. Just kind of if you're gonna shoot out the 400 yards or whatever, just dial it. If it says 14 MOA, dial it to 14. Find out where it hits, and then you're like, okay, well it's actually like 13.2, and then you turn it down to 13.2, so or 2.5.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit of a rant about long range shooting. We didn't mean to go into, but
I mean, it's better to mention it
it's
and
a
be in the back of your head than not
yeah,
mention it, and then someone doesn't take the precaution.
yeah, that's true. So, but going back on to outdoor ranges though, um, most most outdoor gun ranges, and it kind of depends on where you are, because like it's somebody's property that they started a business on. That's basically what a gun range is, right? So they may not have all the tools and resources to have like 1,000 yard outdoor range, right? They may only have the resources to do 100 yards. So, and it really just depends too, um, where you are, and then another thing I've kind of realized too, outdoor gun ranges they vary in cost a lot more than indoor gun ranges.
Yeah, like that one outdoor range we went to, it was what, $20 for the whole day, and you could come back, like you could leave and come back within the same day.
Yeah, like
Versus the indoor
that
range we
that
went to.
that's a hidden gem.
Oh yeah, which is why I'm not mentioning the name
Yeah,
because I don't want it to grow too popular. But
name name or the city that it's in. So
yeah, but the
don't go to Georgetown, Texas.
but like that indoor range that we've gone to a few times, you know, it's $40 for an hour, which I get. They have a lot more equipment and a lot more maintenance cost, but you know,
Yeah,
if as far as the consumer, I'm looking at $40 for an hour or $20 for all day, and I can leave and come back that day. I'm gonna go
yeah,
with the latter unless it's raining,
yeah. And
or if I
then
don't feel like the drive.
like so and yeah, yeah, that's true because it's pretty far out there. So,
Yeah,
but with another thing with outdoor ranges, like the price varies. It just depends on what kind of range it is. Like if it's like 1,000 yard range, we're just lucky enough to that we have found one within 3 hours of us that actually has 1,000 yard range that isn't very expensive, right?
yeah,
So, um, but I know some gun ranges that are like 1,000 yard ranges that are like $50 a day and stuff like that.
oh damn,
Have I ever gone to these? No, but like just being interested in like the long range shooting stuff. I don't have a whole lot of private land to shoot on, like 1,000 yards. So you have to find you have to find a gun range that's 1,000 yards, and they're very hard to come by. So they're getting easier to come by though. I'm seeing a lot more. What's up?
Huh?
Oh, I thought you said hey.
No. I was sniffling. I'm freaking going
Stuffed.
going downhill, dude. I was telling you earlier, dude. My nose bled for a hot minute this morning.
Yeah. Oh, it's all good. But uh, what about some good old stories that we have? Not both gun ranges, I guess. Both good and bad. So
So starting with indoor, bad experiences I've had would just have to be, we went to that one range, and there was maybe 2.5 hours until they closed, and as soon as we walked in, one of the range officers uh, was not necessarily a asshole, but he was just like, he was telling us, you only have 2 hours to shoot or whatever, and we're like, okay, y'all close at 6, right? And it was like 3:30, and he was like, yeah. He's like, we're like, okay, well that's fine. We just want to shoot a couple rounds. He's like, okay, well just remember y'all don't have much longer. We're like, okay, whatever. And then we go into the range and we're shooting, and we go to pull another gun out because we brought a couple guns with us, and the range officer in there was like, you only have an hour to shoot because they close the range down a little before they close the whole place down so they can clean up and all that, which is understandable. But it was just something that was just kind of annoying because they were, the way they presented it to us was in a rude way, and I could understand if we were rude about it or something, or being unsafe, but
yeah,
that was just one of the bad experiences that stuck with me. That if you are a range officer or thinking about owning a gun range or whatever, just think about, people are paying to come use your facility, and I get you have certain procedures and everything, but if you want to keep them as a consistent person at the range, because that is part of the reason I don't go there as often. I still go there, just I'm not gonna not go there because of one officer, but there's been other gun ranges like the outdoor one we talked before that I'd rather drive the extra drive just because I know the guy treats his customers a little better, and he's not even making as much money
yeah,
as the indoor range. I mean, if you think about it, that dude's making a considerably less amount of money than the indoor range is making, because he's charging $20 per person, and that's all day, and he has a pretty good amount of people coming, versus the gun range has
yeah,
$40 an hour, and they're having people in there constantly all day throughout the day.
yeah.
So
I agree with that.
I mean, not bashing on them or whatever, blah blah. Just things to think about if you are a gun range owner or a range officer, is just realize people want to come there to shoot in a safe environment and practice and get better known, express their 2A amendment right, and just get better acquainted with their stuff, and then you make them feel not welcome or whatever. It deters them
Yeah,
from going back. But the good experience I had at the indoor ranges would be, I needed to sight in. So when I bought that, not the thermal, it was the Vortex Viper.
Vortex.
Yeah, when I bought that
Yeah,
Vortex Viper, it was raining outside, and I needed to sight it in because it was during deer season or whatever, and I was really itching to go get something with it. And I walked in, whatever, explained. I had a different range officer that day. He was really cool. He actually shared some stories with me of when he was in law enforcement, some crazy stories. I think I've talked to you about it before, but he was really cool, talked to me. It was really just me, him, and one other people in there. But what was so amazing about that experience is not only was he welcoming and cool and willing to help me out, he gave me some targets and everything. Got my gun sighted in while it was raining outside. I enjoyed the experience, and then I even helped the people in the bay next to me because they were new to guns and they didn't know how to sight in a scope. And the range officer.
Was I with you for this?
No. I was by myself.
Okay.
But they had one of those ATN night vision scopes, the 1-shot zero.
Yeah.
And I was showing them how to zero it in, but the range officer was really cool with me coming over there and to their bay and helping. So the first gun range that I went to one time and never go back, my dad was in the bay next to me and I was in my bay, and my dad was shooting a new pistol that I'd got him, and I had gone over to his bay to look at something, and the range officer got mad at me because I was switching bays. I didn't have a firearm or anything in my hand. I just literally stepped out and walked up behind my dad, and he wasn't shooting or nothing. He was just observing the pistol, looking at it. And the range officer got on to me about walking over into his lane, which I get it was safety reason. I could understand it more if he was like, mag dumping or shooting or whatever, and I just walked up behind him. But he clearly had the mag empty, slide back, and it was on the table, whatever. That was kind of what rubbed me wrong. But But that other indoor range that I was talking about, though, is like, that was my good experience there, was that I got to go there because it was raining, get my gun sighted in, and then even help out someone else. Like, that was really the most, memorable experience that comes to my head.
Yeah.
And then as far as outdoor ranges, I haven't had any bad experiences at an outdoor range yet. And then my good experience at the outdoor range, which is, you were there for that. We were out there shooting. The owner was really cool. We cut it up with him a little bit before we shot. He showed us everything that the facility offered, which the indoor range did one time. Yeah, well, they didn't until I asked. This guy just did it strictly as soon as we pulled in. And then, we got to shooting, and there were some guys next to us, and then we had like a friendly competition. It made it even more fun. And then just the environment was 10 times better.
Yeah.
Other than Ray's obnoxiously loud 308 that he had.
Yeah.
But no, it was a really cool experience. I mean, shoot.
He had like the $50 Walmart scope.
Yeah. Freaking almost $2,000 rifle, and he had a $50 Walmart scope on there. And which, I mean, it's fine if you can't afford that or whatever, but we know Ray. Ray splurges on his equipment, and if y'all listened in the last podcast, y'all know that too. And we kind of gave him shit about it. It's like, Ray, you spend all this money on all this fancy stuff, and then probably one of your most expensive guns, you put the cheapest scope on there possible.
I was like, dude, throw your red dot with a magnifier on it. You'll have better accuracy.
Yeah. But no, I really liked that range, and it was a cool experience. It was a cool experience all around. I mean, shoot, I was sitting there shooting, and I didn't have a short enough bipod or tripod on my rifle. I had like a longer one because I usually use that tripod for like coyote hunting. So I'm sitting down. I need something taller. But since I was on a bench, the guy next to me freaking let me borrow his tripod, and then the owner of the range even came over there and offered me a what do you call it? A bipod with a sled on top.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know. Maybe I've only been to 2 indoor gun ranges, but I've just never had that kind of experience where I felt like the owner and the people there were really there to help everyone around, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because like the one that we go to, the outdoor range, it's almost like a small community like in its own. And it's different than other outdoor ranges, like like with like the actual bays and stuff. This is just basically like an open field.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I got some berms, go shoot at them.
Yeah.
Like from, this one, at that same range, you didn't go with this because you were actually busy, but me and Ray went, and that's when Ray brought his AR-10. He was getting all pissy because it wasn't running. The dude, he was like, he was immediately like, oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab something right quick. He grabbed like a chamber polisher, chamber brush.
Yeah.
He's like, I think this may be one of the issues, and he's grinding it, or not grinding it. He's trying to polish all the burrs and stuff out. Yeah, he's trying to clean it. And I know a lot of like indoor gun ranges, like if they have like a gunsmith or somebody that knows a lot more about guns, they'll charge you for doing that, even if it doesn't work. So,
yeah, they charge you just to touch your rifle.
Yeah. But Yeah, he was a lot of help on a lot of stuff. So very interesting guy. Every time I head down into that area, I always like to make an attempt to go to that gun range, just because I know that he'll treat us right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's see, I I got some good stories, some outdoor range shenanigans. So I'll start with the indoor. I'll say the good stories for last. So see that a bad indoor experience. It was a newer gun range in West Texas, and you have to read all the safety rules that they have, everything like that. Well, I read them, and at the very bottom, it was a different color font, so I didn't read it because I thought, it's a different color, but it wasn't red. If it was
Mm-hmm.
red, I would have read it, but it was like blue or something, like some random color. And so I skipped over it because I was like, this probably says like turn over to back page. So then I flipped the page, signed the document or whatever, and kept going. Well, that little blue print was basically saying you can't shoot more than one round per second. And you know how hard that is for me?
Yeah.
Like
Nah, I know
for
with your little
for like
happy finger.
for even like for even like an average shooter, that's pretty hard to do. So, I was shooting at like my regular pace. It wasn't like bag dumping by any means. Like I was doing like two taps, like pa pa pa
Yeah.
pa, right? But they were controlled. I wasn't missing the target. The range officer kicked me out of the gun range because I didn't follow the rule. That was a very,
He didn't
very,
give you
very
like
long
a
day. I was like,
warning and
fuck it. No, no, he didn't give me a warning. He just kicked me straight out. And I was like, but I asked him why he kicked me out instead of just
like
gave me a
correcting you.
warning. He's like, you should have read the rules. Yeah. And I was like, I guarantee you, every one of these motherfuckers next to me is missing some of their bullets. Look at that fucking hole, like down at there's like 10 yards. Just trying to, practice shooting with, because I think I just built my first AR, and I put in a new trigger on it, and I was like, I just want to double tap it because I know it's lighter trigger than mil spec.
Yeah.
He's like, nope, nope, you should have read it. And I was like, look at that fucking group, and it was probably like basketball, dodgeball size, like a little bit bigger to palm, and he's like, it doesn't matter, not following the rules. And I was like, who the fuck cares? I mean, and I was like, fuck this place, and I went. But I have a good story at that gun range though. So like 3 years after the fact, I took my fiance there to teach her how to shoot. It wasn't busy at all, so it was perfect. So I was teaching her how to shoot. And then I was shooting right next to her, so she can kind of get used to the sound of gun stuff, like the actions, all that kind of stuff. But I that's one of my better stories at indoor stuff because like I taught her how to shoot
Yeah.
there, and I was doing the double tap thing with the same gun that I got kicked out with, and then but it's been a couple years, so they probably relaxed their safety rules or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that dude no longer worked there because I told the range officer like, yeah, last time I was here a couple years ago whenever y'all first opened, um, I double tapped, got kicked out immediately. He's like, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. And I was like, does he work here anymore? He's like, I can't say. So
Yeah, if they can't
you know,
say if he works there or not, generally he doesn't work there anymore.
yeah, and it's usually for something very, very similar. So, but oh, the worst part, they didn't get me a refund either. So whenever I got kicked out. But let's see, what's a shitty outdoor experience I had? So it wasn't necessarily a gun range thing, but it was more like an idiot kid kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
do you know where Weber's is on 35?
Mm-hmm. I've never been there, but I've heard of it.
It's okay. Like for like a gun range, but they also do like paintball and shit there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like in the woods. Well, they didn't have like markers or anything saying like this is like the border of where you shouldn't go. Well, we ended up on like the back side of like the rifle range, like behind the berm, and there were people shooting like while we were back there just fucking around, and we're like, oh my god, this is fucking scary.
Yeah, like someone could have definitely got hurt in that situation.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was bad.
What were they
I
doing back
obviously
there?
I think that's the what?
What were they doing back there?
What do you mean?
The people behind the berm.
No, I was behind the berm.
Oh, sorry. Freaking
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. Be, because we're playing paintball behind the woods, and we ended up behind that berm somehow. Like we didn't know where not to go. I guess I should say.
Yeah.
And luckily none of us poked our heads up over the berm. We kind of just
Got,
walked away.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, that would have been a memorable paintball experience if one of you would
Yeah.
have got your head popped.
Oh yeah. Without a paintball.
Yeah.
I think a good story in West Texas. That's where I shot my first 600-yard target.
Uh huh.
That was a fun time.
The one where I was with you? Oh, no, you said West Texas.
Yeah, West Texas. Yeah, that's the first time I shot over 200 yards. And then it was just fun because like I knew the guys at the range at that point, and they were like, "Dude, you can go over there whenever you want. You don't have to ask us." So I was like, I'm gonna practice a little bit more at 2, and then I popped out to 6. I didn't hit it first shot, but I didn't shoot over the berm, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And then I started getting cocky. I started getting cocky and started shooting my 5.56, 2.5-inch 5.56 at 600.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
10.5 at 600?
Yeah, it actually dropped a lot less than I thought. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I figured it would drop a little more because I figured it wouldn't have as high as velocity as your like 16-inch.
I thought the same thing, and then I aimed where I thought it would be, because I'm using a red dot. I'm not using a scope.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit. You have a lot more play with a red dot. So I kind of just took a shot, and I was like, "Oh, I'm about 4 foot high," and I wasn't aiming over the berm. Those who are asking, I was like, 6 feet below the berm. So then I just lowered it, and then I don't think I ever hit the target, but I was hitting around it. So I was just impressed by the performance of that. And obviously, there's a better choice of gun for that, but. And then I think another good story was taking you and Cole and Ray out to that other range that we all went to, and had the competition with those guys next to us.
Yeah, that's probably been by far my favorite shooting experience and range experience, to be honest.
That son of a bitch cheated, dog.
Oh, the dude with the iron sights?
Yeah, he had like the adjustable per yardage.
Yeah, he could basically dial in what yardage he was shooting at.
Yeah, that was horseshit.
None of
I
us.
was so pissed.
The whole point of the competition was to see who could, So we did it on 1 power. Everybody did it on 1 power,
or iron sights,
sights, and you had to compensate with your dot where you thought you would hit. And this dude, the whole time, turns out was freaking dialing in the yardage on his iron sights. What was he shooting? Was it a Mosin Nagant or was it a M1 Grant? What was it? I can't remember.
No, it was that the M16 clone.
Was it?
It was a guy it was a guy sitting right next to you.
Oh, I thought it was the guy on the other side that was shooting that bolt action.
No, the guy with the Mosin. Do you remember he was shooting way over all of his targets?
Yeah, that's right. Oh,
because that gun was like made for a specific kind of ammo, and he was using a different kind of ammo that had better velocities at distance. So he was shooting like 8 feet over these fucking targets.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
I definitely want to go back out there. I've only been once. I know you and Ray've been twice, right?
Yeah, yeah, because we all went as a group that one day, and then me and Ray went whenever he came back down. So
Yeah, I need to get some more ammo up too. Like
yeah,
mainly 5.56 and 9 mil. That's what I'm short on. My 223 and 6.5, I'm doing fine.
yeah.
Uh,
I I think I'm good on 5.56. I need to get 308 and 22 250 back up. But I've got a lot of reloading stuff for 308. I have like 400 rounds of brass for 308 right now.
See, my main issue with me is I bounce back and forth on what I focus on. So I'll have my spurt where I'll focus on my guns, and then I'll transition in my spurt where I focus on my project truck, and then
Yeah,
which is the spurt that I'm in right now. And then whenever I start getting bored of that, I'll transition back to my guns, and then just back and forth. But
yeah.
totally off topic. I'm going to C10 Nationals this weekend, and going to be looking at some parts that I need because I'm almost done with that project truck, about to start painting it and everything. And then after I do that, it'll be full go blow, like getting my setups and everything back to what they need to be.
Yeah.
But
Start looking at some plate
plate
carriers and
carriers and
shit.
everything. But I mean, that's part of not only being a Texan, but just being a gun or outdoor person in general. You have your guns and you have your your vehicles, and you kind of just bounce between the two because what's a better way to express freedom in America than owning project cars that you turn into quote unquote hot rods or loud machines, and then having guns that do cool things, and you get to enjoy them both.
Yep.
I think it's the definition of being an American.
I really haven't gotten into the whole automobile thing. I've never really been into like cars and stuff, like mods.
Well, it's expensive. I'll tell you that.
I know it
But the
is.
thing is, though,
I've looked up.
I calculated the other day. I've spent more. So, just alone, my PC build that we both built our PCs or whatever. The money I put
Yeah,
into building my PC, getting the monitors, the desk, all the peripherals for it,
yeah.
it is actually double the amount I've put into my project truck so far.
No shit.
Yeah. So,
How the
which,
fuck did you spend that much on a computer? Holy, like the whole setup, I guess.
well, yeah, the setup and I'd say the whole setup, everything I've bought for the PC, all the parts, putting it together, the monitors, peripherals, the desk, headsets that I've bought over the years as I've broke them, uh, just basically anything I needed for the PC. Totaling it all up was, I would say, good ballpark estimate, close to almost 3,000. And the project truck is
Damn.
maybe the project truck's
Well,
maybe I've spent 1,500 on it.
yeah,
But the thing is, though, is I got the truck fairly cheap. It's a 1989 Chevy Silverado single cab, for those of you wondering, with a 350 motor in it, SBC Chevy small block. Anyways, or small block Chevy. My bad. Sorry, my brain is fried right now. But anyways, I got it fairly cheap. It didn't take much to run, and it had a pretty good interior. I mean, the guy who had it kept it relatively in good shape, other than the exterior. And all it needed to run was a new fuel pump. And the motor was brand new, so there was a lot of things with that truck that helped me not have to spend a whole lot of money. But I mean, once I get done with it and paint it and everything, yeah, it's definitely going to be probably one of my more expensive hobbies. But yeah, no, I was thinking about that the other day though. I was like totaling up some things in my head. I was like, holy cow. Which I also told Bree that too. I was like,
yeah.
because I told Bree I want to have, you know.
I think guns kind of takes the cake for me. I'll be honest.
Oh no, I enjoy guns very much. I'm not saying guns or trucks are better than either one. I enjoy both of them very, very, very much. But I was kind of, you know, like buttering up the situation to Bree because I was telling her, you know, as we get older and older, you know, I want to have multiple vehicles in the driveway because, you know, I love project vehicles. It's just I love doing it. It's just like building an AR or whatever. It's fun to put something together and then see what the finished process or product is, and you can go back and say, you know, I did that.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about doing guns and cars. But anyways, I told her, like, you know, I got to calculating it, and I've spent more on my PC than that truck. She's like, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, it's honestly cheaper for me to build trucks than PCs. She's like, yeah, it is. But you know, it's kind
buttering them up.
Kind of a corny joke.
Oh my
god. But yeah. No, I mean, it's something I enjoy doing. I know you enjoy doing it for sure. We know Ray definitely enjoys doing it.
But does Ray do it the right way? The world may never know.
I don't know. Ray's innovating. He's
find out. And
Ray's he's an innovator. He's the first person I've ever heard of building a single shot 308 AR-10. You know, Ray's,
well,
you know, he's catering to some different markets that we're not thinking of.
Well, I think one thing Ray is doing right for a lot of people though is finding out what not to do.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we all go through that painful process of thinking we should do something some way. For instance, when I built my first AR, I decided that I didn't need to buy an armor's wrench, which now I know is probably one of the most useful tools I have for when building ARs. Anyways, long story short, I was trying to put my barrel nut on and handguard. This was like when I was like just turned 21, whatever. And I was just excited to get the AR together, and I was using channel locks. And long story short, my hand slipped. And so going before that, you know, I'm into like a bunch of different things. So I got into this hobby of like repairing phones or whatever. Anyways, I just replaced the screen on my iPhone 10 at the time, and I was sitting there watching a tutorial video on how to put an AR together, and my channel lock slipped, and I kid you not 1 hour on the dot after I got done putting that screen together, I dropped my AR on that screen and cracked it to pieces. And that was probably my most painful story of learning the hard way. It's better to take a little extra time and do it the right way than, you know, try to skip a few steps.
Yeah. Well, it honestly depends on the part though too. So whenever I was working at the gun store, you know, like this is 4 years ago at this point. So there's this piece that you can use called who makes it? I think it's Geisley. It's called like a speed rod. Speed stick. Oh, let me look up exactly what it's called. Let me see. But it's basically a part that you put into the upper, and you can. Sorry, I'm trying to find the part. You basically put it on the upper. Oh, reaction rod. That's what it's called. Here, I'll send you the link of it. This thing, if you're gonna be into building ARs and stuff, or if you're a gunsmith, you absolutely need to get this fucking part.
Oh yeah, it that goes in your bolt carrier or your upper, doesn't it?
Yeah. It goes in your upper. So you lock it into a vise.
Yeah.
You put it and then you put your upper on it, and then you can put your barrel inside. Like you see, like the left end where it has like the little
Yeah,
bolt looking part. Yeah, you put your barrel on that, and then it basically locks it into place.
yeah.
And then
I need to get one of those for sure.
if you're going to be building a lot of ARs, it's definitely worth it. If you're not, I wouldn't I wouldn't say waste. I wouldn't spend the money on that. That's not my number one thing I would buy first. And like the gunsmithing stuff. But it depends on the actual handguard and what barrel nut it is. You may not need an armorer's wrench. It's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So like whenever I was working at that gun store, we would use the reaction rod, and most of the time it will be a pair of channel locks, because it would either be a BCM handguard or a what other handguards? Aero Precision. I think those are like the main two that we put on 90% of the time. So channel locks or a wrench that'll fit it, like fit around the gas block.
I gotta say though,
Huh?
BCM is probably my favorite handguard that I've used so far.
Yeah, yeah. It's the easiest to install, or now was it easy? It's one of the easiest to install, I think.
Well, that and I just like it compared to my other handguards. It has the which I know there's other handguards out there that have it, but it has the little Torx head retainer thing, basically keeping it from walking off or whatever.
On the top.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it on the top instead of the bottom.
yeah,
And the only reason why I say that is because all like the super super cheap handguards, that if I'm sorry to say, if you own one of these, they're garbage. Like the locking system is just trash.
yeah. I had one of my rifles. It's no longer on there because after shooting a couple hundred rounds, it started to become loose and walk.
Yeah, and then you can't tighten it.
Yeah,
You can put Loctite on it, but if you want to take it off, it's going to be a pain. I'm really liking my Noveski handguard. I think it's the NHR.
I feel like I've seen that one. Which one is that on? What rifle is that on of yours?
It's on my 12 and a half inch.
I've shot that one, haven't I? Doesn't that one have
Okay.
the?
There's the Picatinny on the top and the bottom.
Is it the green one? The like OD green one? No, it's your
Yeah,
22, isn't it?
yeah, that's my 22. That's the picture, or that's the link for it. I just sent it to you.
Let me pull it up. Oh, I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. And so it helps a lot with pistols too, because like for me at least, I like to, for some reason, I like to put my hand right where the gas block is. I don't know. It's just where my hand goes. I don't know why, but for like angled foregrips and stuff, I've always had issues with like fitting that the actual M lock screws into the or onto the handguard,
Yeah.
because the gas block's in the way. But this kind of gets rid of that, and I don't know. It's also a little bit heavier, so it's just for 5.56, but it is a little bit heavier, so it minimizes recoil basically to nothing, which is awesome. But my only complaint is for mostly Noveski. I don't know anybody else that really does these anymore. You have to time the barrel nut just right so you can get your screws in there straight. That is my only complaint about that handguard.
Mm, yeah, I see what you mean. You talking about the screws on the side that retain it?
Yeah, because if you go to the second picture, you see how it's just round with holes on the side or on either side.
Yeah.
So you have to put those holes exactly at like the 3 o'clock, the 9 o'clock, and the 6 o'clock position, and that's where you screw it in.
Yeah, that would
And
get kind of annoying.
yeah, it's annoying the first time you do it, but once you kind of understand, like, okay, if I torque
How
it
it
just
threads on.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, which anyone who's put a barrel nut or screwed anything on that need to be a certain, time on there, it
yeah.
can get quite annoying, especially when you're just trying to get it on.
And you'll see a lot of that timing stuff with suppressor, or not suppressors, muzzle brakes, and
You talking about
most flat tires do.
as far as like the ejection ports?
No, no. Oh yeah, yeah. On the muzzle brake.
Yeah, like talking about make sure it doesn't, if it's a. I get what you're talking about. I just can't think right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So like the actual ports going out the side. Yeah.
Oh, so they sell
But
pre-builts also on this website?
on Noveski.
Yeah, I've never heard of
Yeah,
Noveski, to be
dude.
honest with you.
So Noveski, fun fact, they uh
I like the
so
Diplomat.
John Noveski was kind of revolutionized the AR world by putting like a match barrel in an AR-15.
Mm-hmm.
So their barrels are pretty awesome. If you go down, they have a gun called the Ghetto Blaster. It's pretty cool.
Actually,
I'm pretty sure you've heard of this company. I'm pretty positive you have.
I may have. Like I said, I'm a little drowsy at the moment. Or not drowsy, but.
Yeah.
Oh, Ghetto Blaster. Oh, yeah, it's kind of like a PDW.
Yeah. It's like
That's
their version
pretty
of
clean.
it's like their version of the Honey Badger.
Yeah, it actually has like the more Honey Badger style brace on it versus the PDW
Yeah.
just has the straight rods coming out the side.
So that is actually Q's
Brace?
brace, or no, stock. Yeah. They don't make a pistol version of the Ghetto Blaster, or they
So
don't
that
right now.
you would consider that a stock? Oh yeah,
It
because
is
it
a
don't have
stock.
it don't have the strap through it or nothing.
Yeah, yeah. So another thing too, it has the cherry bomb on it too for Q suppressors.
Yeah, I see that. Does it come with the
So
cherry bomb or?
yep, I'm pretty sure it does.
Let's see. I'm building mine right
Doesn't
now.
say.
So I would either get it in Sniper Gray or FDE, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like the Sniper Gray a little more. I don't know. But anyways, in 300 Blackout, let's add this bad boy to cart. Oh, you got to find a dealer.
Yeah, but they're expensive though. They're like 3,500. What's Tiger Eye? What color is that? Oh,
It's like a.
Tiger Eye looks kind of cool. It's like a tan color.
Huh.
Yeah, I kind
Do you know
of like the Sniper Gray.
Silencer Shop is based out of Austin?
Yeah, did you not know that?
No, I did not.
It's a very weird city, but
They carry that Noveski rifle.
mm-hmm. Good luck getting one. I'm telling Bree if you get one.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I can get a PDW for $2,000. Out of stock, actually. Never mind. Hey, I can get a Honey Badger with a free tax stamp.
Really?
Yeah, right now they're doing this thing. You get a free tax stamp with the Honey Badger because you got to register as SBR.
Yeah.
2,000.
That's convincing.
Yeah, I know. $2,899.
Okay, not as convincing, but still convincing.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy to me. So you're paying $2,899 plus sales tax, plus the $200 tax stamp. So you're looking at almost a what?
like $3,300.
$3,400 gun that MSRP's for $2,899 before taxes.
Yeah.
God, dude. Imagine though you go to buy that and not knowing like about $200 tax stamp and all that, and you're like, how much is that gun? They're like, 2,800, or 2,900. You're like, okay, I'll take it, and then they ring you up and they're like, all right, your grand total is, 3,599 or some shit, just, considerable amount more. You're like, God
Yeah.
damn.
If it's a good gun store, they'd let you know before.
Yeah, no, for sure, but
there obviously there are some gun stores that would pull some shady shit like that.
mm-hmm.
So,
shoot, I had the place I go to a lot, Ace Hardware.
yeah.
Which I bought my Vortex Viper from them. Like, they understand, they know me well enough that they know what I'm looking for. They don't typically try to tell me like, oh, you need to buy this instead. But I was in there one day, and they know me well enough that they know I don't like spending a whole lot of money on AR parts. Like, I buy quality parts, but I'm not gonna put an $800 scope on my AR-15. Most of my AR-15s, because most of them are either shit hit the fan or truck guns or whatever, just beat up guns. And I was looking at the Vortex Strike Eagle 1-8 variable or whatever, and they actually recommended me a considerably cheaper sight, which you've seen and shot now.
Yeah.
Which
I don't remember shooting it though.
Yeah, you shot it for sure when we were at the outdoor range.
I thought so. I can't remember.
Because I mean, honestly, I shot it, whatever, or before I shot it, I bought it and I was like, this isn't gonna be a piece of crap, whatever. I shot it and I was surprised, and then I was nervous when you were getting ready to shoot it because I thought you were gonna, because I know you and Ray, y'all splooge a little more on your ARs. I was like, all right, here we go. Hunter's about to start making fun of me or whatever. But I remember, the only reason I remember this situation is because your exact words after you shot it was, dang, that surprised me. That's actually a nice scope. And I was like, oh, okay, sweet. Hunter's not going to judge me.
I think I remember now.
Because I was so afraid you were going to shoot it and then, like, make fun of me or something, whatever, blah, blah. But
you should be scared.
Because
fucking with you.
When you have good friends and you're doing anything hobby related, it's always a pissing contest. Which I would say our group of friends that we do, it's not as bad. Some more than others, but like I feel like with you, I don't really have to worry about like trying to like, I don't know, outbuy you or anything.
I just buy what I want. I'm not trying to show off.
Well, that's how I am too. I mean, obviously, you've seen how I've cheaped out on some of my AR parts and stuff. Like, I just buy what I want or whatever is reasonable to me at the time. But what I'm saying is like, there's some friend groups out there that they solely live on trying to outdo each other on like gun builds or vehicle builds or whatever they're doing.
Yeah. So like the only thing, like I think about me that's kind of like the opposite of what you just said was when like if like it's not really you, but like even working at a gun store, it's like giving people recommendations of parts, pieces, guns, and they don't follow your recommendation, and then they come back and they're like, "This shit sucks." And I said, "I told you should have gone with the first one."
Well, I mean, I ask you for recommendations.
No. I know you do. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you actually try and listen to my advice because like that this is like what I like to do the most out of anything else in this world.
Yeah, there was two people I asked.
Ray, you should have listened to me.
There was
AR-10, Ray.
There was two people I asked when buying a suppressor which one I should get, and I know you had a little more experience in it, so I listened to you the most. Because I remember, I'm sure you remember, because I'd send you one, and then I'd try to buy it, and it'd be out of stock, and then I'd send you another one, and I just kept bombarding you with suppressors, like, which one should I buy? Which one should I buy? And then finally, you landed me on the one I got, because all the ones I looked at were out of stock or on back order.
Yeah. The suppressor you got, it's going to be a great suppressor. The Resonator 2.
R2.
But, R2. Sorry. Resonator R2. But, there are cooler suppressors out there.
Oh no, for sure, and I know that. And I tried to buy one of the cooler suppressors, but
I know you try to buy like 4 of them that I recommended to you, and they were all back ordered because it was right after the holidays. So like
and
that
then
kind
this
of
motherfucker Ray, and I hope you're listening, Ray. This motherfucker Ray finally talked him into buying suppressor, and 2 of the ones that I tried to buy were in stock, and he bought them.
yeah.
No,
he bought one of them.
Well, he bought the Nomad, and then
but then he bought the 22 and that 9 mil pistol or that 9 mil can.
Oh, I was thinking he bought the other 30 cal one I was looking at.
No, he only bought one.
I really like that. I'm ready to see your SOCOM in person. I'm looking at it right now on the podcast for everyone to see.
Ooh. Oh yeah, dude. I'm like,
you got it in flat dark, didn't you?
Yeah.
Of course, you got the one I was looking at. It's the 5.56 one. You got the other one.
The SPS, right? SOCOM SPS 300. I think that's the model. I'm excited for it, but I'm coming up on fucking 4 months. No, it's been 3. I think it's been 3 months. When did you cash your stamp? Or when did your stamp get cashed? Was it January or February?
February 2nd.
Okay, so I think it was like right after you then.
Yeah, you did yours like a week after mine. Because I kept asking you about it.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm too. I'm actually logging in to look at mine right now. I know it's not going to be ready, but I'm just logging in to look at it.
Are you on Silencer Shop or are you on ATF's website?
Silencer Shop. I don't think I can actually check anything on ATS website, can I?
Yeah, you can. Pretty sure you can.
Well, I think you can see like where it's at in the process. I think like it'll tell you if it's.
Oh, okay.
Like I think you can actually see on the ATS website whether an agent has, like, clicked on your file or not. Like whether it's in process or not.
Yeah. See, I need to. Oh, another good thing about indoor gun ranges: if they sell suppressors, they'll let you shoot it in store. Boom. There we go.
Yeah, that is a good one.
We're still on topic.
Well, like that new gun store down the road from us, they do what they call conjugal visits.
Yep.
Which, for those of you who don't know, it means if you buy a suppressor there, you can come in and visit with it and test it out.
Yep. Which my dad got a suppressor from him, so he's trying to.
Has your dad shot that yet? Last time I talked to you, he hadn't shot it yet.
No, I don't think he has. To be honest with you, I'll ask him next time I talk to him. So I'll let you know. Oh, so another thing too, whenever you're gonna mount QD devices, don't use Loctite. Use Roxette.
Roxanne?
Roxette. SET. It's like, so you know with like Loctite, you can like heat it up and it melts it, and then you can take it off.
Yeah.
Roxette's the opposite.
Oh,
the
yeah.
hotter it gets,
the more it bonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want something that's going to heat up and unbond, especially on a barrel that gets hot.
Yeah. Especially when it's got, your like, $700 to $1,500 suppressor that you waited 9 months for.
Yeah, and then that thing pops off and flies across the range or whatever.
Yep. Ooh, another fun fact for you. God, this is all about this, like suppressor hour all of a sudden. Whenever you're mounting your QD device, don't use a crush washer. Use a shim.
Huh. Well, doesn't it come with the whatever you should mount it with?
Sometimes it does. Most companies do. I'm trying to think of one that doesn't. I don't think Yankee Hill does. I don't think they ship shims with their stuff. So you might have to get like a pack of shims. Like they're like $3 and you get like 4. No, sorry, not 4. You get like 40 of them. Like they're very, very cheap. because the crush washer, like the way that it's like designed, it looks like you cut like a little piece of a spring off, right? So like one side a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So whenever you lock in your your muzzle device, it'll shift your muzzle device like in any direction, like whichever direction that it's going to be going, and then you're gonna shoot like straight through your suppressor, and that's not a fun time. So don't do that. Because I don't know the whole process on getting suppressors warranted.
Have you?
Like
Do you know
shipping
anyone
them
that's
off
ever
and
had
getting repaired. Yeah, I do.
Did they get it relatively quick?
I don't know. Um, so he came in, he talked to me about it, but I don't know. So I didn't work the suppressor side of the store that I worked at. I did a lot of um, rifles and optics mounting. So I didn't really get into the whole suppressor thing because like I it's some it's not a law, but it's like you have to take like extra care of what's going on, if that makes sense. It's like you can't just ship it in UPS like 7-day shipping. You have to do it like overnight so it gets there. And then I think like the manufacturer has X amount of time to send it back or something like that. I don't know all the laws. All the stuff that they do. So it's a very, very, very interesting time if you're in that situation.
I'm logging into my. What the heck?
Yeah. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this episode, though.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk suppressors after this episode.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like crap, so that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But all right, boys and girls. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this. I know we got off topic a few times, but it's always fun. Until next time, stay safe,
Stay active,
and enjoy the outdoors.